What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly Sports History for November 25th, 2023. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Welcome to a Saturday edition of the podcast. Before we get into today's episode, let's recap yesterday's question of the day. I talked about the anonymous NFL players who voted Philadelphia fans or Eagles fans the most annoying in the league. And I wanted to see what your thoughts are, and almost unanimously, yes, everybody said, yep, we're annoying, and nope, we do not care. So there is that. No real shockers there. I did have a couple interesting takes from a couple non-sports fans that I had posted on my Facebook. And ultimately, the thought was, yes, Eagles fans are annoying. No one cares. However, it is super annoying when you're at a concert or something like that and an Eagles chant breaks out. And I know we've talked about this before when it happens at like a Phillies game or a Sixers game unprompted. But for the most part, yes, Philly, embrace your annoyingness, I guess is the word, and just go with it and embrace it. That's all I have to say about that. All right, no new Back to the Future this week. As I mentioned, for the holiday, it is a great week to get caught up on the archives and just check out what you've been missing. For those of you who don't know, that's Back to the Future with a PH, available wherever you get your podcasts as well as on YouTube. I've been mentioning it for a couple days now, but for December, we are going to do a Philly Sports Advent Calendar. Each day, we're going to open up the window and take a look at what our gift of the day is. But more importantly, we're going to do the first annual This Day in Philly Sports History food drive. I do a reverse Advent calendar with my kids where we just put in non-perishable items in bags, and then each day we put something different in, and then we donate it to a local food bank. I want to try to expand that. Again, you can do whatever local food bank to you, but as we get into December, I'll give you the list. You guys can handle it however you want. I can post it on my social media if you wanted to do it early. But just our way of giving back to help, because I know you see it on the news all the time, especially around this time of year, that the food banks are low on food. It's been especially tough this year, so any little bit helps. So we're going to try to do our part and do the first ever This Day in Philly Sports History food drive. All right. Flyers lost a tough one to the Rangers. Back at it up in New York against the Islanders tonight. They just got down early yesterday and just couldn't battle back. And again, they're a young team. These are the things you're going to see and things you're going to have. So nothing wrong with learning as long as they're going to be able to learn from it. Sixers in action tonight against OKC. I didn't even look to see if I thought they were eliminated from the tournament. Yesterday I read an article that it was one of those random weird scenario things. So I did not even look to see if they were eliminated. I mean, the scenarios were very unlikely that they were going to do, but I'll check on it and keep you posted. But I'm pretty sure they're eliminated. But, oh well. It is Black Friday weekend still, so it's still not too late to go to Philly Goat and do some Christmas shopping. I know my wife was asking about some of the stuff last night, so we were getting some shopping done. But go to Philly Goat. They have everything you need for everybody in your life, even grandma. Go check them out. We talked about the Flyers Quakers jersey that we inspired here on the podcast. We talked about the Mega John shirt, Mega John, I should say, shirt. They have so much cool Fanatic stuff for the kids. It comes in their sizes, any different colors as well. I know when my daughter was younger, all she would wear is pink stuff. You can get a pink Fanatic shirt. Go check them out. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off your order. That's phillygoat.com. Promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off your order. It helps them out, helps you out, helps me out. Let's go buy some shirts. All right, the big news from the Eagles yesterday was Derek Barnett was waived, and he's probably best known for recovering the fumble that Brandon Graham strip sacked Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Derek Barnett's the one that recovered it. Probably lesser known for he forced a fumble early in the the game 2 weeks before against the Vikings in the NFC Championship game. The Vikings were actually driving to tie that game up, and that fumble recovery sort of changed the momentum and changed the tide of that game. And really, it was just all Eagles after that. So apparently he was loved in the building. I thought it was strange that they put out usually they wouldn't do this for someone, but they put out a press release, the Eagles did, that they were releasing him. He was a first-round pick. He probably could have made our disappointing athletes in Philly history. But, I mean, I don't know. Apparently he was, like I said, very well loved in the locker room and things like that. And they don't win the Super Bowl without Derek Barnett. Causing that fumble in the NFC Championship game really turned the tide of that game around. And then, obviously, recovering Brandon Graham's strip sack in the Super Bowl, because if the Patriots recover that, it's still a whole different game. But wish him the best. I don't know if that roster spot now means that they're trying to go all in on signing Shaquille Leonard, which I would not be opposed to. Howie just doing Howie things, but I have not heard anything yet. They already have been one of the favorites for it, so we'll see what happens as that goes. The other big story is Brandon Graham is set to break the record for all-time games played as an Eagle tomorrow. He's going to play in his 189th game. He's currently tied with David Akers with 188. Kelsey is next with 186, and then Fletcher Cox has 182, which really brings me to today's question of the day, and kind of a big one on a Saturday. But the question of the day is, because Brandon Graham did not get off to the greatest of starts with him, but he's probably one of the most beloved Eagles, and you have two other really the Super Bowl champions, Kelsey and Cox, there on that list. But it has me thinking, who is the most beloved Eagle ever? I mean, you can certainly make the argument for Brandon Graham. You can make the argument for Jason Kelsey. You got Brian Dawkins, Reggie White. So out of those four, or is it somebody else I'm missing? Let me know. Who is the most beloved Eagle ever? Is it Graham, Kelsey, Dawkins, Reggie White, or someone else? Be sure to let me know. Social media, Jimbo_Mont on Twitter and TikTok. At Philly Jimbo on Instagram. If you're friends with me on Facebook, I'll post it there. You can always just comment right underneath wherever you're watching or listening to this. But let me know, who is the most beloved Eagle of all time? I had Brandon Graham, Kelsey, Brian Dawkins, and Reggie White. Is there someone else I'm missing? Let me know. And that is today's question of the day. I talked about checking out the archives for Back to the Future. Also, be sure to check out my boys over the Clashing Conferences. Great episode this week. It's available wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on YouTube. It's sort of an around-the-horn style of takes on the NFC East. Each guy represents one of the teams, and they just talk trash on each other. And I think it works well because these guys are truly fans of their team, so it's really what sets it apart from a lot of the other shows and podcasts you'll see. So be sure to check them out, the Clashing Conferences podcast on YouTube and wherever you get your pods. All right, finally, the Union are in action tonight for their conference semifinal game against, or I should say match since it's soccer, against FC Cincinnati out in Cincinnati. This is not the best of three. This will be a single game elimination, so kind of like more of the knockout stage than anything. That is this evening, so hopefully they can win and move on to the conference finals for the second straight year. I think it's second straight year. I'm not sure if they went the year before or not, but good luck to them tonight. All right, we are going to go back to the year 2007, and on this day, November 25th, 2007, the Patriots beat the Eagles 31-28. A.J. Philly filling in for injured Donovan McNabb almost led the Eagles to the epic upset. The Patriots coming into that game were 10-0. That was the year they went undefeated and then lost to the Giants. The Eagles were floundering. Donovan had a hurt sprained ankle, a swollen thumb, just kind of banged up that year. Excuse me. After being hurt the year before and having Jeff Garcia lead the way. But the Eagles in this game led 28-24 midway through the fourth quarter. Greg Lewis had 2 touchdowns. Reggie Brown and Brian Westbrook each also score. But ultimately, it was Tom Brady leading the way. But the defense could not stop Wes Welker, who had 13 catches for 149 yards. They did hold Randy Moss to 43. But A.J. Philly was the star of this game. 345 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, though. One of them actually returned to a touchdown very early in the game against future Eagle Asante Samuel. The Eagles did manage to go 8-8 that year, but missed the playoffs. We know what happened to the Patriots, 18-1, thanks to David Tyree's helmet catch. But on this day, it was the Eagles almost pulling off the epic upset with A.J. Philly. I believe in this game they were 24.5-point underdogs, and almost were able to pull it off. But the Patriots won 31-28. Again, though, this serves as a lesson for you, for all the people that are upset about the Eagles winning ugly. This is a game that the Patriots should have blown the Eagles out in with a backup quarterback, and they found a way to win in the fourth quarter. Wasn't necessarily pretty. They didn't play their best game, but they found a way to win. That's what good teams do. And yes, this year the Patriots did not win the Super Bowl, but they won enough of them to go and show you that it doesn't matter how you win, good teams find ways to win, even when they're undefeated. But on this day, it was 31-28. Patriots over the Eagles. A.J. Philly almost pulling off the impossible. All right. I told you about Philly Goat. Don't forget to go to Car Can. This is like the perfect gift for the people in your office. It's trash can, storage, cooler, whatever you want to use it for, you can. They have also, I always talk about Car Can because that's their big product. But if you go and check out the other things they have, the selection is great. Like, I keep telling you about the trunk thing, and I'm still trying to figure out if there's a way to fit it in the back of my truck because that's how great it just fits and organizes thing. But check them out. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery 20 off for 20% off your order. That's carcan.com. Promo code Jim Montgomery 20 off, all one word, for 20% off of your order. You want to try to get that done soon so you can get it in time for Christmas. All right, today's Philly sports most disappointing athlete is none other than the 5-tool player himself, outfielder Domonic Brown. And Dom was the 20th round pick of the Phillies in 2006. At one point, he was the best prospect in all of baseball. All we ever heard was how he was a 5-tool guy. I think one of the people, I forget which general manager it was. It may have been Ruben. Somebody called him a 6-tool player because he could steal bases or something. It was crazy. This dude came in with so much hype. Got called up in parts of 2010, 11, and 12. Became a full-time player in 2013 and came out lights out. He hit 303, 12 homers, 25 RBIs in May of 2013, I should say. Made the All-Star game, and everybody was super hyped. All right, finally, Dom Brown's here. He's going to save us from falling off the cliff after that World Series and division title run we had. Unfortunately, after that All-Star break, he didn't do anything. And really, he had a 6-week stretch that all of these numbers came in, rode that to the All-Star game, and everybody thought, oh my God, he's finally here. But ultimately, that was it. Very big disappointment. He was plagued with injuries. All total, he played parts of 6 seasons with the Phillies, hit 246, 54 home runs, 229 RBI, was released after the 2015 season, never played in the majors again. And for me, this disappointment is like a double-edged whammy. If you want to, I don't even know if that makes sense, but it's a double whammy. And because we had so much hype. And it's one thing, okay, you were hyped up as a high prospect, and you didn't produce. I mean, that's bad enough, but I can deal with that. All we heard was Dom Brown is the future. Dom Brown, 5-tool player. Dom Brown, Dom Brown, Dom Brown. But to me, the double whammy comes in is because there were so many instances starting in like 2009 where all we heard about was how Dom Brown was untouchable. Domonic Brown is untouchable. He's not going to be included in a trade. And because of that, I wonder, are there any players, maybe not 2009 because we did end up with Cliff Lee, but I wonder if there were any other times where maybe we could have gotten another player to kind of take the burden off of some of those guys, or another starting pitcher or a bullpen piece that could have maybe prolonged that run or even got them over the hump against the Giants or even the Cardinals the next year. So ultimately, did Dom Brown cost us another World Series? Possibly, because all we heard was how untouchable he was. So to me, it's a double disappointment, a double dose of disappointment with Domonic Brown, because not only did he not produce on the field the way he was supposed to, but because of all the hype, Ruben and whoever else did not trade him or include him in any trade packages because he was supposed to be the chosen one that just never did anything. So thanks a lot for that, Dom Brown. I truly, truly appreciate it. But Domonic Brown, today's Philly sports most disappointing athlete. So upset about him because, man, that's all I heard was he's untouchable. You can't trade Domonic Brown. Oh, my God. Yeah, how'd that work out? On this day in 2007, the Patriots beat the Eagles 31-28. A.J. Feely almost pulling off the impossible. Good luck to the Union tonight as they look to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals in the MLS playoffs. Flyers and Sixers both in action tonight. Adios to Derek Barnett. Thanks for the fumble recovery and the strip sack in the Minnesota NFC Championship game. But other than that, he's just known for being the guy that jumped off sides all the time. But without those catches or those fumble recoveries, we wouldn't be there. Be sure to let me know who your most beloved Eagle is. Is it BG? Is it Kelsey, Dawkins, or Reggie White, or is it someone else that I have not even mentioned? Let me know. This is a good one for today on a Saturday, a cold Saturday nonetheless. Be sure to like and subscribe and tell everyone about this as well as Back to the Future. Let's try to grow this thing. Let's start a movement and just 2024, let's make this thing explode. Go enjoy this cold Saturday. This is our first Saturday since August or September without soccer. It's kind of great. But we have like 1,000 things to do today anyway. So all the things we didn't do during soccer, we're doing today. So get out there. Go enjoy your Saturday. This is This Day in Philly Sports History. I'm Jim Montgomery. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you.